Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Kublai Khan. We have finally managed to take Canada's capital city and we have a couple more cities that we need to knock down. Quebec should be easy. St. John might be a little bit tough because we no longer have Moulin, but I'm hoping that the Keshig will make a big difference there. I believe Nubia is somewhere to my west and I'm going to have to try to get a good exploration on this map. I don't remember what kind of map I'm playing on, whether it's Pangea or whatever. So I may have to go on an international journey with my troops, I have to embark them to try to find the rest of the players. Let's make sure we plug in feudal contract for the extra production towards our military unit, because I do believe the Keshig actually counts as a regular old ranged unit, so it gets the boost from the feudal contract card rather than the maneuver card or the chivalry card. I think I'm going to go for the amber industry over here in Ottawa for the extra food and production. The extra faith I don't care too much about, but having that really strong amber tile is going to be very helpful. I wonder if I can secure a kill on this crossbowman. Man, just not quite enough damage. That really sucked. Maybe I can bait him forward with a builder and he might step forward and try to capture it. There's mathematics giving us access to the diplomatic quarter. I do want to get the diplo quarter up. We also have access to drama and poetry. I'm moderately worried about Quebec now, because they actually managed to get walls up there, although my vampire is like turbo powered right now, and I'm kind of trying to sit outside the range of the city in the hope that that crossbowman will pop out for a visit. I could go for monumentality and get a ton of builders to boost out my my buildings, and I think that's the right move because I could be able to purchase things. Oh man, this barb camp over here, oh, that is like just horrific timing. The question is, do I need any more settlers? I really wanted to get a settler. I was going to get a settler here with monumentality because they're still quite cheap. They're only 190 faith. But I'm going to have to deal with these barbs now, especially because I've been scouted. Let's get to work on castles because we want the courser. I think I only need 2 techs to grab that, so that's going to be an easy follow-up. I'll need to save a bunch of gold to upgrade my units too. Breaking this city is going to be something I need to take a moment to think about because I don't have Moulin anymore and she's very expensive to bring back. I might need to get myself another hero. Try to give ranged units the +5 combat strength, and if I could get units to be half production cost, actually that could be massive for me to just spam out as many units as I need, and they are half price. Brilliant. And it looks like ranged combat units got the boost. Hey, we got the Ordu for the +4 combat or era score rather. I'd like to get rid of this scout if I could. Give him the old shot-orino. Let's do a heroic tale in Kerma. I would like a second hero, and in Urumqi I think we're going to start producing Keshigs because this is where I have my Ordu. So the Keshigs produced from here are going to earn experience faster and move faster. Apparently there's going to be a military emergency against me. I'm really hoping that this one doesn't pass, but I'm pretty sure it will because I think Nubia is going to jump in on it as well. And looks like Nubia did. Oh well. I mean, at the very least, I will get a boost at the end. Here's a little trick for you guys. If the AI has a unit that's garrisoning their city that you don't want to fight, move your units 2 tiles away from the city. And then the unit will probably leave and you can swoop in and murder them. It's kind of a way to trick the AI into thinking you're not going to continue attacking the city. It's a little bit of an advanced strategy, but I find it works pretty often. All right, let's hit this crossbowman and then hit him again. And step forward and shoot. We got the kill. Happy days. This archer will take a huge chunk of damage, but that's okay. Quebec is flipping to me. It's only 8 turns left. Let's appoint Liang because we have the golden age, and I'll slap her down in like Winnipeg because that's like pretty central to my empire and I can move builders wherever I need. Got a very minor problem with swordsmen, and I think my campus is getting pillaged over here, which really sucks. It's kind of moderately upsetting. I've got 2 envoys, so I'm going to get suzerainty of Johannesburg for 2 reasons. First of all, for era score, but second of all, to potentially get a hero, and that's what I was hoping for. The scouting information is super valuable too, so I know there's no players to my west, or east rather. Got a little bit of a Tarugan swordsman problem. Shouldn't be too hard to clear in all honesty. I can boost the city's combat strength and then start taking out some of these guys pretty quick like. As long as I can kill a couple of them, I should be able to keep this city alive. The bigger problem for me is this crossbowman push. that Canada's pulling off here. I do have my first Keshig on the front line over here, which is gonna make my life that much easier. The worry is just the sheer amount of damage that I'm up against here. We are in the medieval era, so our next governor title will almost certainly want to go into the Sanguine Pact to get our second vampire and the vampire castles. The big problem I've got though is a lot of my Keshigs that should have been on the front line over here right now got tied up with Taruga and these barbarians, which tends to happen to me in my games, but you know, you kind of just have to deal with this and accept that that's how it is. I think I might try to pick up the Colosseum here. It would give me a ton of loyalty boosts. Otherwise, I could maybe do campus research grants for a little bit of extra, you know, science or something. I guess builders are also equally valid because that's a long-term investment into the production of the city. All right, let's kill off some more of these units. Man, I'm really struggling, really struggling here to clean up all these bad guys that I'm encountering. I mean, my vampire is like at levels of combat strength that are astronomical right now. I think he has like plus 20 combat strength from killing units. The problem is he never gets a chance to heal. We found Himiko. I think Himiko is probably a good one to pick up too. Might take 9 turns because the city has good production. And we are slowly but surely protecting the city. I think we can prevent it from falling. And I accidentally lost the Keshig over here because I wasn't paying attention to it too much. Oh, of course Hamilton has walls. Of course Hamilton has walls. There's a crossbowman outside the city there, but I would need more than 1 Keshig to take it. Kerma's definitely under threat right now, but thankfully I might just be able to survive just by the skin of my teeth. All right, we got another crossbowman that we need to deal with here. Should be an easy enough kill. How much damage do you do right now? Ooh, Nubia levied the city-state's army, which actually worked out in my favor because it meant they couldn't attack this turn, which means I get to attack for free and push them back. God, I need to get rid of these barbs. I'm being assailed from all sides. I would be finished with this city already if that hadn't happened. But I guess it is flipping independent, so I haven't really been slowed down that much. And I'm also getting pillages on Nubian missionaries, which is working in my favor too. All right, we have Hercules under our belt, and I'm going to use him to quickly build a couple of districts that I have placed down. I mean, it's tough out here, but I think we're slowly grinding our way through this. How is this flipping back to Canada? That makes no sense. It flipped away from Canada. All right, let's instantly build this commercial hub. That's going to help me fuel my economy because I'm currently down 6 gold per turn, so I need to get those markets online. All right, I'm hoping I can get a kill here with my vampire and be in position to pillage for health next turn. I'm going to try and position a horseman in relatively good terrain so that he'll take the city shot instead of my vampire, and I'm hoping that a crossbowman doesn't appear in this city. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big, well, moderate trouble. Not big trouble, but moderate trouble. Okay, looks like 2 crossbowmen appeared. That's really what I was hoping not what would happen. But pillaging will get me castles. That gets me coursers, which means I just need 250 gold and I can boost this guy up. So what's the best way to get gold? It's usually pillaging. Yeah, it's usually pillaging. So I'll need to like see if I can sneak some pillages. There is a mine over here that I might be able to sneak a pillage on. That would be great. Pop down another commercial hub. Kaboom. Plus 3 era score and plus 4 gold from that. I'm going to be able to grab a market in here as well. Trade routes are going to be a big part of how I survive here, trading with these city-states especially. And another commercial hub is completed. I'll be getting a market in here as well. That's 3 markets on the way, which should cover my expenses right now. And I thought this mine had been repaired, but I'd completely forgotten to repair it, which means this city isn't quite the little pinata of gold that I thought it was going to be. But I still should secure it because it is flipping over to Canada, which I really don't want. And I'll also pillage it again for a little bit of extra science. All right, let's break Quebec. We'll take it into the fold. We've got this secured. Now we can work on Hamilton and St. John. Not only that, but Hercules can finally take up his mission on the front line. 19 units have died near my vampire, and that's not including barbarian units. So he has a total plus 29 combat strength. I really need to get my hands on a knight. I'll need to find like 10 iron from somewhere. I really should go ahead now and purchase this settler. Grab myself a heavy chariot and see if I can turn it into a knight, because that would actually raise the combat strength of my vampire, since its strength right now is still based on a horseman. Otherwise, I could just get a courser and that would be equally valid. Tech-wise, let's go ahead and pick up military engineering, because we want to be continuing to get stuff like military science. Although, actually, technically, we don't need military engineering for military science, so we might just head down this way anyway. I'll grab education first and see if this pathway, you know, comes to fruition. Let's get rid of this crossbowman. Stop it threatening Kerma. Can I bait it? Maybe this horseman to attacking something different. Let's make sure the vampire gets another kill. I'll use Hercules to finish them off. Pop over here. I need vision of Hamilton. There we go. I now have vision. And these Keshiks do so much damage that they're actually kind of breaking the walls in here pretty reliably. Not super fast, but I think I'm just, you know, snowballing a bit here, which is coming out in my favor. The main threat here is actually the melee unit. If we can get rid of this horseman, I'm pretty sure we can hold this city just fine. Let's make sure we clean up crossbowmen as well. They're going to make my life a little bit harder. We'll do a big chunk of damage with our vampire. We'll do a big chunk of damage with Hercules. Ooh, that's a lot of damage from that encampment, actually. That's scary. Might lose a unit over here. All right, we managed to save the city because he has no melee units to actually capture it. And now it's just a matter of a fairly mundane and easy cleanup. Do I want this great merchant? Let's see. I don't think any great merchants have really gone yet. And I don't think great merchants are competitive right now. This great merchant kind of sucks, but a free copy of the luxury is fine. I could hold on until I maybe wanted to use it for maybe a monopoly later in the game for extra game, or a company rather. I want a trade route in Winnipeg to a city to the west because I'm having a really hard time reinforcing through this mountain pass. All right, let's keep hammering this city. We want to eliminate the walls essentially. If we can get the walls down or even just take the city this turn, hell yeah. Keep that bad boy. I was trying to recruit Himiko, but unfortunately someone stole her away from me. So I'll have to find and try to recruit a different hero. My waifu was stolen from me, and now I am the sadness. Right, that's mildly spooky that there's a knight there. I'll have to unfortunately tank a bit of damage off him to keep that city of Kerma safe. We did, however, grab another great general. This one's from the medieval and Renaissance era, which will be super helpful for our coursers once we have them online. Right, let's trade with Samarkand for the 6 gold and the extra envoy for sending a trade route. Looks like Dido is over here to the northwest, so I should be able to chain a conquest of Canada into a Dido war. Although I might be able to piece out Canada here for like all of their money. Now it looks like Canada straight up is refusing to take peace. I might have to wait till next turn and then they might change their opinion. Now it looks like Canada is way too bought into this war. He won't take any sort of peace at all. Yeah, the only peace he's willing to accept is if his capital gets returned, and that's not happening. The good news is we do have an encampment tile that we can bombard this city from, which means we are safe from city attacks, because cities can't bombard units inside encampments. Ooh, Nubia actually has the pyramid, so once I conquer her, my builders will be incredibly useful. That extra build charge is massive. The crossbowman stupidly decided to step out of the city, which means it's an easy kill. Get Hercules on the job here. Should be able to smash down the walls. I don't think there's anything to pillage. Oh, there is a mine that we could pillage, actually. Should be easy enough to grab. I don't know what Nubia wants for peace. Like, I've offered her a bunch of stuff. It looks like she just wants a ton of gold. I was hoping to get peace with her to establish a trade route for the boost, but I'm just going to let her die. I'm tempted to kill Taruga now. They've kind of annoyed me by allying with Nubia, and they're in my way, and they would provide me with loyalty against Nubia, so I think that's the route I'm gonna go. Take some promotions. Let's keep hammering the city. Hercules is doing his job. He's only got 14 more turns, so I have to get as much value out of him as possible. Also, I completely forgot to pick up the Sanguine Pact guy for the vampire. Whoops. I got him now, and we can build vampire castles now, which are pretty damn good. Vampire castles duplicate the yields from adjacent tiles when built and add them to the vampire castles tile and grants the tile's yield to the capital city. So an ideal scenario would be to find like a tile that's surrounded by potentially up to 6 mines. It looks like there might be a tile here. Maybe I can duplicate the corporation or the industry's yields as well. This looks like a good enough area actually. Truffles, a couple of hills. Yeah, I think this is where I'm going to do it. So I'll send my vampire up here to put a vampire castle on this tile. I'll make sure I buy that tile. Shoot the city. We'll pillage for gold. I can finally upgrade my coursers. Hammer the city a little bit more. And it should fall next turn, and that'll be the death of Canada. All right, I have a relatively large army, so I think it's time I spent some production on my economy. I do need to keep a constant train of coursers and Keshiks though, so maybe I'll keep reinvesting. Also, I don't know why my Keshiks look like this. I don't understand it. It might have something to do with the UI mod I have installed. Sucretact simple UI adjustments, but for some reason the Keshig just looks like an arena. Alright, let's go ahead and delete St. John, but first I'll pillage that Canadian trade route, and now the city belongs to me. And that's Canada dead. That's our first enemy killed. It took me a lot longer than I was hoping. I was hoping I would have him dead like about an hour ago, roughly speaking, in terms of gameplay time. But I was hoping he would be dead around turn 70-ish. So that took a lot longer, which means this isn't going to quite be the mega snowball game that I was hoping, even though we got an amazing start with Pio Pio Tahi. But we are in a relatively dominant position. We're only slightly behind, culturally and scientifically, the other AIs, and our army is much bigger. So with a constant stream of units coming in from our main cities, we should be able to make a difference here. Right, we've got our secondary army ready to move out on Nubia. It composes of just 3 coursers right now, with a single Keshig in support. But it should grow as more and more units stream in from the capital. Also, we just got ourselves a truffles industry, which has given me a 25% gold boost in the city of Winnipeg. That would be pretty useful if I'd ever built a commercial hub in here. Speaking of which, let's get a commercial hub. Really, all we need is gold. All we need is gold and pillaging. And I'm pretty sure we can just push infinitely with our armies. Now, Dido doesn't have walls up in all of her cities, and her army looks relatively beatable. So I think I'm going to go ahead and declare a formal war on her. Although I could wait a few turns for my grievances to bleed out. And I mean, my units are relatively hurt, so that's probably the right move. Then again, every turn that goes by, she gets a science advantage over me. So I think I'll declare the war anyway. See if we can't clean up this out of position catapult, and we can. And then we'll work on clearing out this out of position catapult. All right, lovely. I want 100%. I don't want 100% production towards buildings in the city center. So I'm going to try to vote for something else like encampment or campus. Voting for campus is going to hurt me in the long run, but it's the one I think the AI is most likely to vote for. Either that or theater square. But I really don't want 100% production towards city center buildings, because that means the AI will build walls really quickly and make my conquest really difficult. I don't have a lot of diplomatic favor, so I can't really, influence this too much. But I definitely want the 50% production cost reduction. All right, nice. Looks like campus passed. That's going to hurt me a little bit because AIs are going to build more science buildings. But the 50% production reduction means that I'm going to be able to pump out an insane amount of coursers and Keshigs. And already my coursers are pretty hard to stop. I mean, Nubia has knights and it's not really slowing me down. Just as I attacked this city, it got its walls up. That really sucks. But I did manage to win the military emergency, which gets me some more era score. I'm very close to another golden age, and if I can continue to chain golden ages together, I'll pretty much never have loyalty issues in my cities from now on. Crossbowmen are presenting me with a small problem with my coursers because I have to dive in too deep and take too much damage in order to kill them. So I'll try to just bait them out slowly. See if we can harvest out a catapult. Might be useful because I have a great general that actually gives movement speed to my catapults. It could be useful. All right, Nubia is begging for peace now, and I need to think about whether I want to do it. If I give her peace, that means I would get 10 turns where I could send her a trade route, and I would get extra combat strength against her. She would gain science. I would get a bunch of money out of her. What else? Is this really to my advantage? It might be. It's a lot of gold. I could spend a bit of time actually building up my military for 10 turns. Right, there's Divine Right, and I think I am going to plug into Monarchy now. Autocracy is just a little bit outdated, but I'm going to be getting rid of Strategos and plugging Autocratic Legacy because that's still really good. It gives you a ton of yields. We'll plug in Chivalry so we can build coursers faster, and we'll also plug in Conscription so we can build or spend less money on maintenance. I think it's time urban planning went in favor of town charters for commercial hub adjacency. And then if I plug in Diplomatic League, I'll be able to use my envoys more efficiently because I can put a single envoy into Zanzibar and then a second one and then immediately get suzerainty of them. And that gives me the cinnamon and cloves luxury resources, which is a ton of amenities. All right, cool. So Great General allows me to pop forward with my catapult and shoot the same turn. Let's see if I can't get more Keshigs in range as well. I need to spend a bit of time picking up the Grandmaster's Chapel. That'll let me buy land units with faith, but also get me faith from pillaging. I feel like it's a really, really important part of domination to pick that up. All right, so we have 10 turns of peace with Nubia. Let's manipulate Nubia right now. We'll try to go for open borders. And she'll take that for 1 gold per turn. And then immediately we'll denounce her. And normally you can't get open borders with someone you denounced, but because we got it before we denounced her, we can. And then over the 10 turns, all these grievances that I got from capturing Canada's last city will bleed away, which means we'll take much less loyalty penalties when actually fighting Nubia and capturing her cities. The only worry is that she gets field cannons before I'm ready to take them on. But, you know, we should be able to pull that off. 92.7 gold per turn. Now that is a good income. The good thing about peace too is that it gives me a chance to build up my economy for future wars, and also just get units in position without taking attrition. Oof, a couple of crossbowmen popping out of Lixus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fall back until I have some coursers up here to carry the slack. Hercules is basically dead anyway, but I may as well try to get some use out of him before he just like dies randomly to crossbowmen. Let's pillage out a second catapult, or not pillage out, harvest out. Pillage out, do you hear what I'm saying? Although that would be cool if you could like, if you pillaged people's wonders and got production, that'd be neat. But anyway, I have 2 catapults now, which will come in super handy once we have bombards, and I also need to unlock Niter, but that's all part of the plan. Let's drop the vampire castle. So this vampire castle will be worth about, looks like 6, 9, 11 food and 16 production, which is going to make my capital super powerful. Like, look at that. 4.2 food per turn, even though we have a minus 75% food penalty. We're getting 40 production in here. Actually, speaking of food penalty, I should probably buy a granary in here to let the city grow a bit and actually work tiles, because it has pretty decent tiles. Open Borders and Peace has given us an incredible opportunity to scout Nubia's borders, and she should actually be fairly simple to conquer once I have my units in position. The only thing is we can't actually declare war for another 3 turns. And then that's just the denouncement. I think we pieced her out 2 turns ago, so we might have to wait like 8 to 9 turns to declare war. All right, let's get killing. We got a couple shots left on Hercules. We may as well make use of them. We found Marco Polo. No way, dude. No way. Are we joking? I get Mulan and then I get Marco Polo. What are the odds? I'm getting all the like culturally appropriate like heroes and great people. Anyway, that extra trade route is gonna be super helpful. I might be able to get, yeah, I might swing him down here and see if I can get the city-states to trade with me. Military score is starting to hit the 820s. I'll need to pick up cartography, and I'm gonna want to boost my way through that. So I think going for celestial navigation and trying to build 2 harbors is going to be a big part of that, because I need to go and try and find the other continent to invade it. Feeling a lot like the British Empire right now. Let's like explore the world exclusively so we can be the first people to invade them. I think I'm going to try to grab Arthur here too. He might be a helpful way to recycle old units into more modern military units. Arthur is crazy good for snowballing. Alright, this is a pretty big Phoenician army. I'll need to retreat a bit and lick my wounds. Hero, lick your wounds! But you know, things are still going pretty well for me. I mean, I'm making great progress. I'm able to get kills with my vampire. Next turn, I should be able to move up 2 catapults to bombard this city. Hercules is going to absorb a huge amount of shots over here on the left for me, and I can focus on taking the city itself. There goes Hercules. We get his little epic. Let's jump all forward with these catapults, and we'll double shot the city. All right. Take down a good chunk of the walls. Get these Keshigs over here. Now I want this Keshig to eat some damage from me, so I'm going to put him with incendiaries. I don't think it makes sense to attack the walls yet, does it? I mean, I guess it does. He's pretty tough. I might be able to sneak him around to pillage too. I don't know how you got hurt so bad. Wait a minute. How did you get hurt so bad? Oof. Alright, let's trade with Moreau for the trading post and the 2 boosts. I got Celestial Navigation and Naval Tradition out of that, which is kind of funny, because those are the things that I need to actually go to war with the other continent. 4 turns until we can declare war on Nubia. Looks like she's trying to forward settle me too, which is going to work out in my favor. Let's chop out the Grand Master's Chapel over in Urumqi. Trying to look for good places to have units in position for pillaging. I think really this holy site is the only thing that matters. Oof, I lost one of my catapults. Not the end of the world. We should be able to recover from that. I guess the catapults still did their job, which was just to kind of hurt the walls of the city. Let's get the vampire moving around. Can you shoot over the city here? Can you cross and shoot? Yeah, if I can get the vampire to this rice and pillage it, he'll be full health in no time. Now that we have most of the stuff we care about in the civic tree, let's beeline for nationalism so we can start combining units together to turn them into cores. Alright, let's go ahead and bombard Lixus, and we will slowly but surely break the city. Got my vampire in position to pillage next turn. I'm gonna pull... I don't need to pull you back, actually. I can keep hammering the city. Pop you right there, nice and safe. Might lose this catapult, but I'm okay with losing the catapult. In terms of my next dedication, because I just got my next Golden Age, Hixunt Dracones might be useful if I can get embarked soon enough to actually invade other players. It's not going to actually do anything for me right now, but I don't know, I think it could have some advantages if I were to pick it up right now. The real question is, do I think I'm going to kill both of these guys before I get to the next era? And there's a distinct possibility that that will happen. On the other hand, monumentality makes my builders incredible and makes them really cheap to purchase with faith, which gives me a really strong economic backbone. So I feel like that's a slightly better play. I'm going to pop down a holy site in my capital, not because I want a religion, but because I want the extra faith generation. A 1,000 year flood just popped off in Lixus. Now that had two main consequences. My vampire got hurt and he's no longer standing on a tile he can pillage. But it also killed a crossbowman in that city. So the city's quite a bit less scary. However, I think Dido managed to get musketmen or something because her cities are getting really, really strong. They're up to 50 base combat strength, which is an awful lot. Or 45 base. So yeah, it looks like she has musketmen. Usually when you start seeing, 45 to 50 combat strength, you're looking at musketmen. So I'll have to watch out for them because they do a ton of damage. Time to declare the surprise war on Nubia. She's not going to be very happy about this, but, I don't really care about her feelings. Right, ideally, we get rid of this crossbowman and then we can just start hammering this city. Let's get these guys shooting and we should see the city fall very quickly. Ooh, we got a holy site with +4 adjacency or higher, which net us a bit of era score. Pretty sure that's the one that I got in the capital. For some reason, the yields are like stuck to the tile. Maybe that mod that I'm using wasn't properly updated, so I might want to take it off. Pillage for health, and then retreat. We're taking quite a lot of damage on some of these units. Could I sneak across the river and then shoot here, and then shoot here? And then that's a dead boy. I need a unit to take the city. I can use this courser for it. We'll get a little bit of extra damage in. Yoink. Lixus is mine. We'll keep the city. It's very low population, so we're absolutely going to need to reassign someone in here to garrison it. But the fact that we hold this now and Victor's going to get established will make taking all these other cities so much easier. And the good news is that Dido actually has a ton of harbors that we'll be able to make use of to actually embark into the new world. I say new world, it's the other continent. But for that, I need to immediately begin researching cartography so I can embark on ocean tiles. All right, easy pickings in Shat. We'll grab that city nice and quick. Get some experience on our boys. We'll keep that city for ourselves and we'll just grab Moksha as a loyalty stick. The city is just held onto for a while. And we'll work our way down through Sedine, getting Moreau and stuff. The abundance of walls in the AI cities is something I'm not loving right now. Pretty much every AI has went hard for walls, with the exception of Dido. But I expected to maybe try to build walls in these cities pretty soon. Let's keep pillaging. Yoink. Definitely want to keep the pillage train going. It's pretty much the only way I'm going to stay ahead technologically and economically is by doing an absolutely absurd amount of pillaging. We can get Galileo Galilei, and actually I spotted a really good spot for him earlier, and I was just thinking, man, wouldn't it be great if I got Galileo? The question is it worth it to run all the way over here for a 5 charge, right, for an extra 250 science, which is 5 turns worth of science for me right now, or do I just pop him right here for the +4 and take the 1,000 science immediately and grab cartography pretty much straight away? I could also boost all the way up to military science if I spent the time researching siege tactics. By the time he gets here, I'll be able to insta-pop cavalry and have cavalry, which would be insane. That might be a bit of a waste though. We'll see. I definitely want to get my science up a bit though, purely so I can research cartography and stuff a bit quicker. I'm also worried about the population of Urumqi. They need some build air time in here. So as much as I want to keep mass producing military, I need to get my economy going as well. All right, we have King Arthur, which is brilliant because he is a very, very cool hero. I haven't actually used him in a video before, but basically what he does is he converts adjacent units into super units, questing knights, who are only alive for 12 turns. So he's a really kind of gambit hero. You give up your unit and they die, but you get a super powered unit for a very short period of time, which can make or break a war. Trying to think about what my best approach for Nubia is, and I think it's coming down through this oasis and desert, because I could, man, like the problem is this encampment is just in a really awkward spot. Ideally, I would actually capture Sedinga first, because that would mean I'd be able to sweep down and then north. But the problem is this encampment makes that really, really difficult, and it would slow me down to the point where this city would flip independent, because I'd have to break through this encampment. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. We'll get our units outside the city and see if we can't encourage them to come out and meet us on the battlefield. Let's go ahead and pick up a jade industry here. Kaboom. Very, very nice. 4 food, 2 production. And it also gives the city a 25% gold boost. The city doesn't make that much gold right now, but once I get a harbour and commercial hub in here, that'll be a different story. I'm going to use all my Diplo favor to avoid this military emergency. I hope it works. It might not, but my Diplo favor is just bleeding away from me anyway. So it doesn't really have much use except for maybe to stop the occasional vote against you. Right, so if we look at this Corsair, it has 44 combat strength and 6 movement. If I use Arthur's Accolade on him, now he has 66 combat strength and 5 movement. But he's only going to be alive for 12 turns. So I'll need to make the best of him. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm now producing units at a rate to where I feel comfortable kind of throwing their lives away and being a little bit less conservative with the lives of my units, and try to just get this city surrounded and taken down quick. I'll never understand the combat preview for melee units against the city, because I have 65 combat strength and I'm attacking a city with 58 combat strength. Sure, it has medieval walls, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. Right, let's get pillaging. Let's make sure we pillage and then promote. I think we want to, oh, we definitely want to pillage that, so we'll move this way. And we definitely want to pillage this mine for 200 gold and this campus for 100 science. We'll steal that builder, but then we'll kind of Zoidberg our way over here. And I'm feeling pretty confident about our current position. We've got a massive army inside Dido's borders. We've got a massive army inside Nubia's borders. As for how the war will actually go, I'm afraid you'll have to tune into the next episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!